And we're going to chat a little bit about the movers and shakers in the transfer window. And there's only one person to do that. talkSPORT's Cowboy Chief Football Correspondent Alex Crook has the latest for you all the way from Houston, Texas.
Good morning, guys. Welcome to Houston. You can see the stadium behind me where Germany kick off their World Cup campaign later today against debutants Curacao. But it's domestic news that I'm going to focus on this morning, and particularly managerial news. It's been a huge summer already in terms of managers departing and new bosses coming in. Fulham are set to have a new man in the dugout. Marco Silva, of course, left Craven Cottage after 5 years to return to Portugal and join Benfica. Alvaro Arbeloa, the former Real Madrid manager, is now expected to be Fulham's choice to succeed Silva. I'm told talks progressed positively on Saturday, and we would expect an announcement maybe as soon as early next week. Now, Fulham have done quite a thorough search for Silva successors. I know they've spoken to Kieran McKenna, who of course has decided to take a sabbatical after leaving Ipswich, Ange Postecoglou, Frank Lampard, Thomas Frank, and Ruben Amorim, the former Manchester United gaffer. Looks like he's on his way to AC Milan, but ultimately Fulham have come down on the side of Arbeloa. Didn't have a brilliant spell, did he, at Real Madrid, but clearly they've seen something in him to suggest he can continue the good work that Silva started. Let's focus on matters north of the border, shall we? Danny Roll set to leave Rangers to take charge of Austrian side RB Salzburg. He was a product of the RB system. He was a coach at Leipzig before coming over to make his name in England, and Rangers wasting no time in lining up their replacement. Not Steven Gerrard, as many Rangers fans would have hoped for a second spell in charge for him. Derek McInnes, who came so close to winning the title for Hearts last season. It's my understanding Rangers have sought permission from Hearts to speak to McInnes as they plan the inevitable departure of Danny Roll. And one more managerial story for you. Russell Martin, a former Rangers manager, of course, formerly at Southampton as well. He's advancing in talks with Leicester, now in League One, and that could also be announced as early as next week. So there you go, guys. Plenty going on in the managerial world. And here later today, it's all about the World Cup. It's all about Germany and Carousel.
talkSPORT's Chief Football Correspondent Alex Crook there, giving us the latest in the managerial merry-go-round. But if you weren't watching on YouTube, I do need to enlighten the millions listening this morning. A patriot, Alex Crook, Englishman, is wearing a Germany shirt. I think that is absolutely bang out of order, mate.
Well, it's not England versus Germany.
No, but Germany are our biggest rivals.
Yeah, so
Germans and the French.
Okay, Cundy had a Haiti top on.
Yeah, but Cundy's English. He's not
Yeah.
Scottish. I can't believe it, Crookie. I'm so disappointed.
A lot of fans now wear different shirts.
Yeah, I know they do, and that's fine, but not Germany. Not Germany. Is that me wearing a Derby shirt?
I don't mean it's that.
Is that you wearing a West Ham shirt to the Den?
No, I don't mean I would last very long if I had a West Ham shirt.
Crikey, Crookie. I love Crookie to bits, but I'm absolutely gutted that I've just seen him in a Germany shirt. Anyway, great info from him. Let's start with the managerial merry-go-round. We got Arbeloa, who, of course, has been sort of plugging a gap at Real Madrid, coming into Fulham, which we discussed yesterday, Cass, being quite a good job. Looks like that's going to happen early next week. I mean, it's a difficult one, really, because I've not really seen Arbeloa in action other than trying to sort of...
Well, he started well, didn't he? With Madrid, he started really well. I think he had the both results against Man City, didn't he? I think Arbeloa was manager when they beat not Man City out the Champions League. That'd be right.
Yeah, I can't remember. It makes a bit of sense.
I think he was the manager.
Well,
I know he had a decent start.
Is there any chance that Fulham will be maybe a really difficult job? Because we saw him sort of peter off towards the end of the season a little bit. I think they really should have been going for those European places. Marco Silva's gone. They might well lose some of their best players in Harry Wilson, for example, who I know has been courted by the likes of Villa in the
Raul Jimenez
he's already gone. Do you think it could be actually a tough job for Arbeloa? It's the Premier League.
I don't know. I know only through talking to Fulham fans when I've gone to games. I've done quite a few games at Craven Cottage this year, and most of them do fear that Marco Silva leaving will be the biggest one more than any player. And that's sometimes the case. I think it's a great job for any manager. If you get the Fulham job, they're not as aggressive as other teams in the Premier League with the way they go after players and pay certain decent fees. I think it's a decent club.
Oh, without a doubt, it's a really steady
to have Fulham and be part of something maybe new. Maybe it's a little bit of a new direction for Fulham as well.
I think it's going to be really interesting because I think it can go one or two ways. You know,
I feel like the Keith Andrews thing that happened with Thomas Frank leaving Brentford last year, where everyone was like, "This is a disaster." You know, why couldn't it be the same for Brentford? For Fulham.
But there's continuity there from Keith Andrews. He was already at the club. He was already a part of it. And Arbeloa was coming to manage in the Premier League. And I know he's played there, never managed there. And I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm not making some bold, controversial prediction. I just wonder if it will be as seamless as Fulham's time recently in the Premier League under Marco Silva has been.
Well, until he's played games and see how his team play and who he's got and brought in the transfers that make a difference, I at the moment, I honestly don't know, Max, because
unknown quantity.
Last year I said exactly the same thing about Keith Andrews. I said, I have no idea how that's going to go.
Oh, I know. I
don't know anybody
do well, and how wrong I was. Yeah. Let's talk about Leicester, though. League One Leicester. Russell Martin looks like he's going to be their manager. Yep. He knows how to get teams out the Championship. Do you think he's what they need to get out of League One, which is going to be really tough, difficult football? And Russell Martin, of course, as we know, has got quite his own philosophy about attacking football. Well, it might be quite difficult in League One.
I do wonder, Max, his time out the game, if he's thought about, because I don't believe there's any one way you should play. I think you have to adapt sometimes to scenarios of who you're playing against, and you can't be fixated on just trying to play all over the pitch in dangerous scenarios, especially in League One. Look, they can have really decent players at Leicester. They can be probably more aggressive and a much better budget than most teams in League One. But that doesn't guarantee promotion. I wonder what type of manager Russell Martin will be when he comes back, knowing that he has to get Leicester back up straight away.
Yeah,
that's going to be the ultimate for him.
He's gone from a pressure cooker at Rangers, had a really tough time, to another pressure cooker at Leicester where the fans are absolutely fuming with the direction of the club, understandably. And I think he's got to get off to a really good start, otherwise it could end badly for him. Again, just a quick word, there's lots of speculation around Rodri, particularly with Manchester City in for Elliot Anderson. And he said, I understand that the speculation's part of the game. I've even thought about my future. My focus is on the World Cup. I'm under contract at City. Do you think he's played his last game for the club?
Well, if they get Anderson, I would think that he would probably move out, because I don't see Rodri as maybe you could even consider, which I don't think they would do, playing the two of them together. But I do think he's so good that you'd like to think if he gets back to his best, there's going to be a major club that will take Rodri. That's for sure.
Well, we've seen Bernardo Silva linked to Real Madrid. I think Rodri's also been linked to Real Madrid. But I do kind of wonder maybe, Cass, if Elliot Anderson does sign, it's good to have a season with a legend like that, a world-class operator like that, to really get your feet under the table.